do that. I mean, I want to, so if the refs ain't going to call so many fouls, if I can be physical and be 6'10", then I'll be 6'10", but we'll see.
Well, listen, if someone knows how to get the refs to blow the whistle, it's Trae Young. So that might not be the best strategy. They did get back. The Sixers did get back in this game. They gave him a little push right at the end. But look, Joel Embiid had 39 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. His first game back since the meniscus in his right knee. And Ben Simmons had 17 points. So Trae Young had 35, John Collins had 21, and Bogdanovich had 21. The Hawks are legit.
You know what? Atlanta's always been, Joy, a really good NBA market without really good teams. So I know a lot of, NBA players through the years have always said, like, you go to an Atlanta game. Now, 70% of the fans are not rooting for the Hawks. But when I grew up, when I was younger, Atlanta had Dominique Wilkins, and I've always thought Atlanta and San Francisco. The Warriors were bad for 30 years, Joy. And then when they get good, you forget how loyal, how great the Warrior fans are. When I was a kid, they were the first great NBA team I ever saw with Rick Barry. Atlanta's always been a really good basketball city, but because it's the South and it's SEC, we just think it's a football. It's just football area. But it's nice to see Atlanta matter because I think there's a huge, loyal fan base in Atlanta that loves the NBA.
Yeah, and Atlanta is a great American city, and it's growing constantly. So it's great to have competitive basketball there.
In the South.
I think this has just been an incredible playoff run for Trae Young. Like he's become a villain for some.
No, but he's a good villain,
and I love it.
He's not a jerk villain.
No,
he's a.
No, it's a come over here and stop me.
By the way, everybody's like, "Ew, Trae Young's." Christian Pulisic scored. He went over to the crowd and said, "Christian Pulisic." He's a little bit of a villain, too. It's okay. You
gotta have a little showmanship.
Yes.
It adds to the drama.
Yes. It's like, it's okay to do this to the fans. And the interweb implodes. Let me just throw some numbers at you. Data and stuff. Julio Jones, 10-year average. And I'm taking, 5 or 6 years in the middle in his prime. He's no longer there. He's still good, but he's no longer in his prime. 85 catches, 6 touchdowns. Now, that's with Matt Ryan. Pretty damn good. Matt Ryan's been an MVP. Ryan Tannehill never has. Matt Ryan's been to a Super Bowl. Ryan Tannehill has not. Matt Ryan had Kyle Shanahan, best offensive coordinator in a decade. Okay. So with that, Julio Jones gives you 85 catches, 6 touchdowns. Whew, we're adding all that? Well, not really, because Tennessee just got rid of Corey Davis. Jets paid a lot for him. Corey Davis last year, 65 catches, 5 touchdowns. So Julio was 20 catches and a touchdown difference. And Julio Jones is better. I'm not arguing that. But the Titans have a new offensive coordinator. That will take some time. Julio Jones doesn't have time. He's no longer in his prime. By the way, the Titans have an emerging star at wide receiver, A.J. Brown. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of looks. The Titans, 30th in the NFL in percentage of pass plays. It's a run culture. Derrick Henry is the team. Julio Jones is great, but Julio Jones to the Titans is like having the best pool in Seattle. It sounds really cool, and there's a handful of days. It's amazing in August, but it doesn't really change your life. It's just not that available. OBJ to Cleveland. If I had to hear another NFL reporter and blogger and media person tell me how it was going to change everything, he could be the 9th most important offensive player. It's Nick Chubb, it's Jarvis Landry, it's the tight ends, it's their amazing offensive line. Expensive, increasingly brittle. Listen, Julio Jones is great. This is a run culture. Does it make Tennessee better than Kansas City? No. Buffalo? No. Cleveland's roster? Not close. I don't think it doesn't make them better than Baltimore. Baltimore appears to have solved their wide receiver issues. So I like Julio Jones. I think Julio Jones is a really good player. Excellent. But he's out of his prime. Because of his expense, it will limit other things you can do, and Tennessee's O-line is not as good as it was several years ago. They lost their right tackle. They've never replaced him. Their secondary is depending on kids to solve their issues. Their pass rush is at times completely regrettable. You can sell me on Julio to Tennessee is going to change the temperature of the room. The Colts are winning that division. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Well, it really happens. Floyd Mayweather really fought Logan Paul.
I watched every second of it. So did you?
I did. I watched every second of the whole night, actually, starting with the Chad Ochocinco fight.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he did not get knocked out. He got knocked down. He got back up. But these are exhibition fights, so there's not actual boxing rules going on here.
Yeah.
But it went the distance. The Mayweather-Paul fight lasted all 8 rounds.
Now, Floyd is 44 and weighed about 30 pounds less, so you can see Logan Paul looks like Paul Bunyan.
I mean, yes, he was laying on him by the end of the fight. But
it was a real fight.
Listen, it crushes my soul in the deepest way to say this. But I must, because we all watched it last night. And I love boxing. You love boxing. I don't think that you can, to quote Snoop, play boxing. And that is the greatest defensive fighter in the history of the sport.
Easily.
Even at the age of 44. And he takes immaculate care of his body.
Yeah.
And he didn't go down. Like, I know everyone says that Mayweather is not a knockout fighter, and he's not. But he's still Floyd Mayweather. He's not 67.
Everybody can laugh at Logan Paul and Jake Paul. Now, Jake Paul, his brother, is a better fighter than Logan. But the messaging after the fight from Logan Paul, I thought was amazing. He said, listen, don't let anybody in the world tell you can't do something. I'm a YouTube guy. I wanted to box, and I have poured my life into it. And I got to tell you something. I've seen Mayweather humiliate boxers a lot worse than Logan Paul. Logan Paul did not embarrass himself. And don't kid yourself, Mayweather was going for the knockout here. No question.
If there's any embarrassment to be had, it's not on Logan Paul's end of it. Now, listen, it does make things easier to accomplish your dreams when you have 5 billion YouTube views. That's why you're in the ring with Mayweather. Let's keep it real. But yeah, I mean, he's not a fighter. And he went in there. Listen, I don't necessarily know if there is a number that you could put me in the ring with a professional boxer, especially the pedigree of Floyd Mayweather. Like, that's a very scary thing to do. I know everybody out here thinks they're tough. Yeah. Like, that was a very difficult thing to do.
Hats off to Logan Paul. Good for you, brother. I thought it was a hell of an effort. And I just watched it and I thought, you know what? He got me to spend $49, and you can make fun of me for doing that. But there's a lot of people in America that spent $49 and watched it on their phone. Showtime, get your app together.
Listen, I've spent $49 on far less entertaining things. So we were all going to watch it regardless. I know everyone says, like, I'm not going to watch it, whatever. Okay, if you didn't watch it, you're not in on the fun today, so good for you.
By the way, I spend $69 to watch UFC fights, so I like fights. So
you're paying for entertainment. Like, that's what it is. It's not like if it was actually. If it had not gone all 8 rounds, then I think you could have complained more that you were robbed of it. But like, you got the full night's worth of entertainment out of your dollars. I'm very interested to see what the pay-per-view numbers are. At the end of it. Now, obviously, this fight doesn't count towards either one of their records. The Florida Boxing Commission wouldn't officially sanction it. They did provide the referee, obviously, but because of the disparity in weight and size, they couldn't make it an official fight. Not that it was going to count anyway. Like, Mayweather is no longer fighting real fights anymore, but it's just, for the record, it's not going to count for either one of them. Yeah. So, to end last night, we had a little fun with the U.S. men's national team.
Oh, my Lord.
Sorry to my neighbors. I was yelling. There's nothing like U.S. soccer, men's or women's, winning anything. This
is our biggest rival. This is Mexico.
It was great. So the men's national team beat Mexico last night in the CONCACAF Nations League final, 3-2. But it was not without a lot of excitement.
Oh, my Lord.
So the U.S. came back from behind twice. Christian Pulisic scored the game winner off a penalty kick in extra time, showing that. Mexico did have a chance to even things up. It was a lot of drama in this game. But backup goalkeeper Ethan Horvath made the save to secure the win. It was really crazy. At this moment right here,